You think you're saving for them. You think every skipped meal, every overtime shift, every birthday gift you never bought yourself was building a future for your child. But one Tuesday afternoon, while you're folding laundry in the basement, you hear your son on the phone upstairs. Once mom's gone, that savings account is ours. We'll finally have the wedding, the startup, the life we deserve. And in that single sentence, 35 years of love collapse like a house of cards. My name is Evelyn Harper. I'm 62 years old. I was a high school English teacher for 38 years. I raised one son. I buried one husband. And until that moment, I believed sacrifice was the same as love. I was wrong. This is the story of how I stopped giving away my life and started living it. The washing machine hummed like a tired heartbeat. I was folding Mark's old high school sweatshirt, faded navy. The letters Lincoln Lions cracked and peeling when I heard his voice drift down the basement stairs. No, babe, she doesn't suspect anything. Mom's been talking about leaving us something for years. Once she's gone, that savings account is ours. We'll do the destination wedding in Santorini, launch the app, finally live like we're supposed to. I froze. The sweatshirt slipped from my fingers and pooled on the concrete floor like spilled ink. Sarah, his fiancée, laughed. That light, crystalline laugh I used to think was charming. God, finally. I love your mom. But let's be real. She's had that money sitting there since forever. What's she gonna do? Take it to the grave? Mark snorted. Exactly. She's 62. Teachers don't live forever. I pressed my back against the cold cinder block wall. My chest tightened not from a heart attack, though it felt close, but from something deeper. A slow, corrosive realization. I had $187,432.19 in that savings account. Every penny earned from summer school, tutoring, skipping vacations, saying, I'm fine with leftovers when Mark wanted pizza. I'd imagined it as his safety net, a down payment, a wedding gift, a legacy. But to them, it was their future. My death was just the activation code. I climbed the stairs on silent feet. They were in the kitchen, backs to me, scrolling through wedding venues on an iPad. Sarah's diamond glinted under the pendant light, my mother's ring, resized for her finger. Mark's arm was around her waist. I stood in the doorway, invisible, just like always. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat at the kitchen table with a legal pad and wrote down every sacrifice I could remember. 1,998. Skipped Hawaii trip with Tom, $3,200 into savings acts. 2001. Took second job grading AP essays, $5,600. 2005. Sold my car, took the bus, $8,000 back. 2012. Paid Mark's DUI lawyer, $4,300. 2019. Canceled knee surgery until after retirement, $12,000 out of pocket. By dawn, I had filled 7 pages, proof that I had erased myself for him, and he had planned my funeral like a Kickstarter campaign. People think invisibility happens suddenly. It doesn't. It's a slow fade, like a photograph left in the sun. After Tom died in 2017, heart attack, 59, no warning, I became a ghost in my own home. Mark was 31, living in the city, building his brand. He'd call every other Sunday at 6:15 p.m., right after 60 Minutes. Hey, Mom, you good? Cool. Gotta run meeting investors. Click. I'd stare at the phone, then water the African violet he gave me for Mother's Day. 2015. It was plastic. He'd bought it at a gas station. Sarah entered the picture in 2021. First visit. Mrs. Harper, your lasagna is divine. You have to give me the recipe. Second visit. This house is so quaint, so much potential. By the third visit, she was measuring the dining room with her phone. If we knock out this wall, we could fit a 12-person table, perfect for hosting. We, not you, we. I smiled. I always smiled, because that's what mothers do. But that night in the basement, the smile cracked. I opened my laptop first time in months and created a new document titled Operation Ghost No More. Step 1, secure the money. Step 2, disappear without dying. Step 3, live. Monday morning, I called in sick to my part-time tutoring job. Then I drove to First Community Bank, the one with a cracked parking lot and the teller who still called me Miss Evie. "Morning, Dolores," I said. "Evie, you here to deposit your pension check?" "Actually, I'd like to speak to a financial advisor." Privately. Mr. Patel was 40, kind-eyed, and smelled faintly of cardamom. I slid the legal pad across his desk. "I want to move $187,432.19 into a new account. One that requires my signature and my fingerprint to access. No beneficiaries, no joint holders. And I want it done today." He didn't blink. "We can open a high-yield Fidelity brokerage account. You'll need to fund it in chunks under $50,000 to avoid IRS flags. I'll handle the transfers." By 3:47 p.m., the money was gone from the old savings account. I watched the balance hit $0. It felt like jumping off a cliff. That night, Mark texted. Mark 7:12 p.m. "Hey, Mom. Random Q, do you have online banking? Need to check something for taxes. Me, 7:14 p.m. Battery died. Talk tomorrow? Mark 7:15 p.m. K. I stared at the lie. It was the first of many. I needed time. So I became the declining mother. I forgot how to use the microwave. I lost my car keys twice a week. I started wearing the same cardigan mustard yellow. Pilled, hideous. Sarah ate it up. Mrs. H. Maybe it's time to think about assisted living. Just for safety? Mark nodded solemnly. We've been researching places. There's a nice one in Oak Brook. Only $6,000 a month. I clutched my chest. Oh, I couldn't bear to leave my home. All Tom's memories. They exchanged a look jackpot. Meanwhile, I was enrolling in travel blogging for seniors on Udemy, $12.99. Buying a used Nikon D3500 on eBay, $280. Researching solo trips to Portugal flights, $687 round trip. I named my blog Silver Linings and Carry-Ons. First post draft. Day 1. I am 62. I have $187,000. I have no husband, no plan, and for the first time, no guilt. Let's go. They invited me to the Capitol Grill. Mark's treat. Translation, the ambush. I wore the mustard cardigan. I ordered the smallest salad. I waited. Sarah started with tears. "Evelyn, we're so worried. You're forgetting things. Last week you left the stove on." Lie. I'd unplugged it deliberately. Mark leaned in. We found the perfect solution. You sell the house, move into a studio at Sunrise Villas, $250,000 buys you in. The rest of the equity plus your savings, we'll invest it for you. You'll never have to worry. I dabbed my lips with the napkin. "How much is the rest?" Sarah beamed. "With the house at $420,000 and your savings, maybe $600,000 total? We'll manage it. You just relax." I smiled. "That's very generous. I'll think about it." Mark's jaw tightened. "Mom, we need an answer by Friday. The realtor's holding the sunrise spot. I stood. I said I'll think about it. I left $20 on the table, my share of the salad, and walked out. In the parking lot, I recorded a voice memo. Exhibit A. Attempted financial coercion. Date: the 14th of March 2025. Friday, 9:02 a.m. Mark used his spare key. I was napping on the couch, actually live streaming on my phone, hidden in a stack of Reader's Digests. Where's the bank statement? Check the fire safe code, still Dad's birthday. Mark: it's empty. Balance: $0. Sarah: what the fuck? She moved it. That sneaky old... I sat up. Language, son. They spun around. Sarah went white. Mark's face cycled. Shock, confusion, rage. Where's the money, Mom? Me. Safe. Invested. Growing. Mine. Sarah: you can't do this. We had plans. Me. So did I. Mine involved not being your ATM. I played the dinner recording. Then the basement eavesdrop. Then the texts. Mark lunged for my phone. I stepped back. Touch me, and I call the police. Elder abuse is a felony. Sarah started crying real tears this time. We just wanted a future. Me, build your own. Like I did. They left. Doors slammed. Tires screeched. I sat down, shaking. Then I opened my blog and published. Post Hashon. I sold my son's inheritance and bought my freedom. Views in 24 hours. 12,847. The internet exploded. Reddit r. Egging parents. ETA for hiding my life savings from my entitled son. 48K upvotes. TikTok. Number Boomer Revenge 32M. Views Bree. Local news. Suburban mom goes viral after outsmarting greedy heirs. Comments poured in. Queen behavior. My mom did this. Now she's in Bali. Narcissists hate boundaries. Mark called 47 times. I let it go to voicemail. Voicemail has shown it too. You've ruined my life. Everyone at work saw the blog. I'm a meme. Voicemail #31. Please, Mom, therapy. Let's talk. I booked a flight to Lisbon. Departure: April 30. One way. I landed in Portugal with one suitcase and a camera. First week. Ate pastel de nata at 3 a.m. Cried in a cathedral because the light hit the azulejos just right. Wrote 5,000 words about grief, guilt, and gelato grave. Second week. Met Isabella, 70, widowed, running a hostel in Alfama BE. She taught me to say, "Eu merezzo isto." I deserve this. I started a newsletter. Letters from a late bloomer, 8,000 subscribers. Third week. Mark emailed. Subject: I'm in therapy. I'm sorry. I read your blog, every word. I didn't know you felt invisible. I made you feel that way. I'm ashamed. I don't want the money. I want my mom back if you'll let me earn it. I didn't reply, but I saved it. I came home in July, tanned, 15 pounds lighter, with a bob haircut and a tattoo of a compass on my wrist. Mark was waiting on my porch, alone. No Sarah. He looked small. Hi, Mom. I unlocked the door. Coffee? We sat at the kitchen table. He slid a folder across. Divorce papers. Sarah wanted the startup. I wanted integrity. I chose wrong for a long time. He opened the folder. Inside, a $22,000 check. My bonus. I'm paying you back for the DUI lawyer, with interest. There's more coming. I stared at the check. Why? Because I used your love as a credit card. Therapy's teaching me that love isn't a transaction. I cried. He cried. We didn't hug too soon, but we sat in the same room without shouting. Progress. 1 year later, I turned my garage into Silver Linings Gallery, a pop-up space for senior artists. Opening night, 87 people. My photos from Portugal hung beside Ruth's watercolors. She's 78. Paints, nudes, 0 fucks. Mark catered. No, Sarah. He wore an apron that said, "I'm with the artist." He pulled me aside. "Mom, I have news. I'm moving to Lisbon, teaching English, starting over, clean slate." I smiled. "Good. Build your own life." He hesitated. "Can I call you from there? Just to say hi?" "Yes. But if you ever ask for money again, I'll block you." He laughed first. Real laugh in years. Later, I planted tomatoes in the backyard. The soil was rich, dark, forgiving. I whispered to the seeds, "Grow for yourselves, not for anyone else." That night, I updated the blog. Final post, "The best inheritance." I didn't leave my son money. I left him a mirror. He's learning to look into it. And I'm learning to look forward. You mereço isto. Stats. Blog subscribers, 42,000. Gallery visitors, 1,200 cent. Savings account, $203,114, grew $15,682 in compound interest people. Regrets, 0. 6 months later, a postcard arrived from Lisbon. Front, a sunset over the Tagus River. Back, "Mom, I taught my first class today. 12 students. One asked if love and debt are the same in English. I said no. You taught me that. Thank you, Mark." I pinned it above my desk. Next to it, a photo of me at 62, standing on a cliff in the Azores. Arms wide, wind in my hair. I am 63 now. I am visible. I am free.